I know some people like this movie. Some people are stupid.
You won't believe the firestorm erupting around Ryan Reynolds right now. Everybody knows him as the witty, wisecracking Hollywood darling with a knack for turning even the dullest lines into comedic gold. He's the charismatic guy who married the equally enchanting Blake Lively, the A-list couple that practically rules social media and red carpets alike. And then there's their famous bestie, Taylor Swift, whose presence alone causes the internet to explode with fan theories. But behind the perfectly curated photos and that slick charm, rumor has it there's a whole different game being played, one involving alleged backroom power plays and hush-hush script manipulations that could change everything you thought you knew about Tinseltown. Sources claim Reynolds, Lively, and Swift cornered director Justin Baldoni with a demand for creative control so intense, it's left fans wondering, are these three just super passionate collaborators or a real Hollywood power clique that gets its way, no matter what? It all started innocently enough. Ryan Reynolds was set to be part of a new project with Baldoni, an up-and-coming director admired for his thoughtful approach and knack for emotional storytelling. Then came the whispers, maybe Blake Lively had some notes for the script. And maybe Taylor Swift was also in the room, encouraging Lively to flex her star power. One insider even alleged that this trifecta of big personalities leveraged a private meeting, some say at the couple's swanky penthouse, where Baldoni was pressed to tweak key scenes or lighten the film's tone against his original vision. People were stunned. Sure, big-name stars offer their input all the time, but this supposedly went further, with Ryan and Blake dropping hints that if they weren't appeased, certain rumored ties or alliances could be pulled. Was this a mere rumor? Perhaps, but it caught on like wildfire. Enter the leaked comments from Blake Lively herself, in which she mentioned she's not just an actress, she's a storyteller who needs to shape the narrative, costume design, and more, sometimes clashing with directors and producers who say, "That's not what we hired you for." She sounded passionate about her craft, but the timing couldn't have been worse given that the chatter about her pushing Justin Baldoni hadn't died down. The public, which usually adores her, began to ask if these self-proclaimed collaborative efforts were actually crossing the line into controlling or even bullying the creative direction of a film. Then, the name Taylor Swift got dragged into it. The pop megastar is rumored to have a seat at the table every time her close friends' projects come up. She's not officially part of the film world, but with her massive influence, enough to shift entire cultural conversations. Some suspect her input isn't just a suggestion, but a directive. In fact, if you believe certain online whispers, Swift's presence lent a kind of intimidation factor to the meeting with Baldoni. Imagine him, a dedicated director with his own vision, suddenly facing down these three powerhouse celebs who, between them, control hundreds of millions of social media followers. Was he expected to just cave and do whatever they wanted? Some fans say yes, that Baldoni caved under the pressure. Others say he stayed firm, and that's why the project stalled. Meanwhile, on an entirely separate front, Ryan Reynolds found himself the target of an epic takedown by none other than conservative commentator Ben Shapiro. Shapiro, never known for mincing words, tore into Reynolds' comedic style in Deadpool and Wolverine, calling it repetitive, unnecessarily long, and basically a lazy string of the same joke told in a slightly different way. According to Shapiro, if you find the film hilarious, you might be, how did he put it, stupid. This scathing critique hit a nerve with fans who've long praised Reynolds for his off-the-cuff humor. Shapiro's review sparked a frenzy of debate. Is Ryan Reynolds' comedic shtick old news? Has he overdone the fourth wall-breaking banter to the point where it feels stale? Or is Shapiro just being Shapiro, stirring the pot with bold statements for the sake of controversy? But then an even weirder angle emerged. There's a character in Deadpool and Wolverine named Nicepool, and apparently this character's mannerisms, speech patterns, and overall vibe suspiciously mirror Justin Baldoni's own persona. The rumor mills kicked into overdrive. Could Reynolds have intentionally inserted a cameo that pokes fun at Baldoni in a way only insiders would recognize? Was it a vengeful jab, a behind-the-scenes joke gone public, or just a massive coincidence? Ben Shapiro, for one, wasn't buying that it was accidental. He proclaimed it a direct nod, or maybe a direct middle finger, to Baldoni and all the drama swirling around him. Fans began dissecting Nicepool line by line, mannerism by mannerism, searching for hidden Easter eggs that could confirm the mockery. Suddenly, the once squeaky clean image of Ryan Reynolds took on a new dimension. Sure, he's that guy on social media who trolls his wife in a loving, comedic way. But if these rumors hold weight, it suggests a pattern. He can also be merciless when provoked. turning a behind-the-scenes feud into comedic fodder for the big screen. Meanwhile, Baldoni has stayed relatively quiet. No public confrontations, no explosive interview calling out Reynolds, nothing. That silence only stirred more speculation. Did he sign a non-disclosure agreement? Is he quietly biding his time to release his own version of events? Or maybe the entire rumor is nonsense, and Baldoni's just focusing on his next project. For now, we can only guess. Then there's the angle involving Ryan plus Blake plus Taylor, unstoppable Hollywood trifecta. It's well known that directors, especially those not deeply entrenched at the top of the Hollywood food chain, can be overshadowed by star power. Even directors with clout sometimes bend to major celebrities who can make or break a film's commercial success. So maybe it shouldn't be surprising that Baldoni found himself in a precarious position. But fans, especially those who have admired him since Jane the Virgin or his heartfelt documentary work, are incensed. They feel like this rumor underscores a darker truth about the industry. If enough big names push for changes, a director's vision can be steamrolled. Social media has weighed in, with some vehemently defending Lively's right to collaborate and shape projects she's invested in, especially if her name and face are on the poster. Others see it as raw ego, saying that if she wants full control, she should sign on as a producer or director from the get-go, instead of blindsiding the creative team later. It's basically a Hollywood morality play, and people can't look away. Meanwhile, the Shapiro critique keeps piling on. He harped on Deadpool and Wolverine as an example of how Reynolds' comedic brand, once fresh and irreverent, may be wearing thin. Shapiro pointed out that the jokes about male anatomy and the endless banter with Wolverine come off like the same trick repeated ad nauseum. He suggested that, for all the hype, the movie itself might just be filler, with little in the way of genuine plot or character depth. The irony? The Deadpool franchise has always thrived on irreverent humor, breaking the fourth wall, and comedic overkill. That's the whole shtick. But when a major commentator like Shapiro steps in to call it lazy, it prompts fans and haters alike to ask, is he right? Are we overindulging in the Ryan Reynolds comedic buffet? Or is this brand of humor exactly what the fans want, and Shapiro is missing the point? All of these swirling controversies, from the alleged script takeover to the cameo mockery, converge on a bigger question. Has Ryan Reynolds let success get to his head? Or is he just a passionate, fun-loving actor who can't resist a cheeky poke at industry friends and foes? The same question extends to Blake Lively. Is she a fiercely creative collaborator who was always honest about her need for authorship? Or a controlling figure who can't handle stepping back to let the director direct? And where does Taylor Swift fit in? Some say she's simply supporting her close friends, lending creative input like she does in her music videos. Others paint her as a silent but powerful enforcer, using her star wattage to tip the scales. In Hollywood, alliances matter more than ever, and a united front of Reynolds, Lively, and Swift is enough to make anyone think twice about saying no. As for Justin Baldoni, the question remains, will he publicly address the fiasco or let rumors run their course? There's talk online about how he might spill the tea in a future project of his own, or that maybe he's so disillusioned he'd rather stay silent than battle the tabloids. Whatever the case, fans are now rallying behind him, turning him into a sort of underdog hero pitted against some of the biggest names in the entertainment world. The tension has made for incredible viral fodder, with some even suggesting that if Lively, Swift, and Reynolds truly manipulated Baldoni, the trio might be biting off more than they can chew, risking a major backlash from not just critics, but the general public who hate to see artists strong-armed. In the midst of it all, Ryan Reynolds continues to be Ryan Reynolds, posting witty tweets, throwing playful jabs on social media, and staying silent on the controversies. He's never been the type to directly address drama unless it's with a comedic spin. But is this scandal too big to ignore? With each new leak or quote, like Lively's confessions about needing authorship, or Shapiro's rants about Deadpool's humor growing stale, the swirl of speculation only intensifies. And that leads us to the ultimate question: how will this saga affect their futures? Could Ryan Reynolds' comedic persona lose its shine if audiences believe the rumors of him undermining directors or mocking them in his films? Will fans turn on Blake Lively if they think she's throwing her weight around behind closed doors? Or will this all blow over, with the trio emerging unscathed, the Hollywood machine moving on to its next big scandal? One thing is crystal clear: if you love drama and can't resist a juicy behind-the-scenes story, you're getting served a full-course meal right now. So, what do you think? Are these stars just passionate creatives who want to bring their vision to life? Or is this a case of unchecked celebrity power steamrolling one director's artistic freedom? We want to hear all your theories, your takes, your shock, your support, or your outrage. Drop it in the comments. Because let's be honest, this is the kind of Hollywood speculation that keeps the internet buzzing. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the latest celebrity drama we're dishing out. Trust us, this saga is far from over. And with Ryan Reynolds' next move, whatever it may be, sure to spark yet another wave of tabloid whispers. We'll be right here, serving the tea hot.